Hey guys, welcome to my channel. Today we're gonna finally work on a tutorial that lots of you have been waiting for. We're gonna work on this serpentine bracelet. Unfortunately, I don't have the colors in my shop, the ones I've used here, but I will leave the links to the ones that match it. So this is iris brown 11 Toho and this green Druks bead 8 mm. One word of advice, please do not use lined or coated beads because this is CRAW and you'll be going through some of the beads quite a lot of times, and coated or lined beads have really small holes compared to the normal beads. This one is lined and I struggled so much with it. By the time I realized my mistake, I was committed, so I had to finish it. I've done this in my early days of beading, so this is quite an old bracelet. And I'm gonna leave a link for brown Miyuki thread code 6. I used this 3-strand magnetic clasp and I'm gonna be using the same today. You're gonna need your stop bead, your needles, and most importantly, you're gonna need your CRAW starter. If you don't have this tool, follow that link and get it done, please. You will not regret it. It makes so much easier to start CRAW. And for today, I'm gonna use these funky colors because it will be easier to show on camera what I'm doing. I will obviously need new tubes because this is not going to be enough. So this blue 11 Tohos, and I would strongly advise to stick with Tohos for this tutorial. And then some of the gray pearls. These are 8 mm drop beads as well. And I'm going to use this Miyuki blue code 10. So I'm going to thread my needle with comfortable length and then we'll get straight to work. So I thread my needle. We're going to start with a stop bead. I'm going to leave a tail of about 12 inches. That's going to be enough to add one side of the clasp. And then take my needle through the stop bead. And then one more time. I'm going to use, let's say this side. I'm going to take my needle up one of the top beads. Pick up 11 go down the next one. When you are doing this first row of CRAW, it's important not to pierce any existing threads because then it will be really difficult to remove this starter. So just, pick up 11 go up the next one. Pick up 11 go down the next one. Pick up 11 go up the next one. Pick up 11 go down the next one. Pick up 11 go up the next one. Pick up 11 go down the next one. Pick up 11 and then go up this next one. So we have 4 beads at the top, which is going to be the floor of the first CRAW unit. Now we just have to take our needle through all of them, connecting them, because they're a bit wonky right now. And that's it. That's the base of our CRAW. Now I'm going to pick up 3 beads and build the first wall. Take my needle through the same bead my thread's coming out of. Go through the second floor bead. Pick up 2 11-0s. Go down the side of the last wall and straight through the floor bead. Go through the third floor bead. Pick up 2 beads. Go down the side of the last wall and straight through the floor. Go through the last floor bead, up the side of the first wall. Pick up 1 11-0, go down the side of the last wall and straight through the floor bead. Go up and connect the ceiling. 2.
I didn't catch that.
1,
Could you try again?
2. Every time I say ceiling, Siri thinks I'm talking to her. So this is 1 unit done. Pick up 3 beads. Go through the same bead your thread's coming out of. Go through the second bead of the floor. Pick up 2 beads. Go down the side of the first wall and straight through the floor bead. Go through the third floor bead. Pick up 2 beads. Down the side of the last wall and straight through the floor bead. Go through the last floor bead and up the side of the first wall. Pick up 1 bead, down the side of the last wall and straight through the floor. Up and connect the top beads. 2, 1, 2. We have 2 units. I'm going to show you one more. Pick up 3 beads. Go through the same bead your thread's coming out of. Go through the second floor bead. Pick up 2 beads. Go down the side of the first wall and straight through the floor. Go through the third floor bead. Pick up 2 beads. Down the side the last wall and straight through the floor. Go through the last floor bead, up the side of the first wall, pick up 1 bead, down the side of this wall, straight through the floor, up, and connect the top 4 beads. 2, 1, 2. So you have 3 units. Continue until you have 19. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. I have 19 units. So I'm going to find the side where my thread's coming out of. I'm going to take these 4 beads and connect it to this 4 beads. So I'm going to fold it closer to each other like so. See where my thread's coming out of? I'm going to pick up 1 bead. I'm coming up this bead. I'm going to go down the opposite bead on the other side. So this bead here, I'm going to go down. Gonna flip it over. See where the thread's coming out of? I'm gonna pick up a bead and go down the opposite one. So here I connected 1 bead to the opposite one to the other, on the other side. Now I have 3 left. So here I'm gonna turn it over. So my thread's coming out of this bead. Now I'm gonna connect this bead to this one. So I'm gonna go up this bead here, pick up a bead, go down the opposite one on there, pull my needle, then I'm gonna go up this bead, this one. Two beads are connected. Now it's time to connect that bead to bead on the opposite on the other side. So I'm gonna take my needle down this bead here, flip it over, pick up a bead and go down the opposite bead on this side. So flip it over, take my needle through this bead here and down that initial bead like so. Flip it over. Now all I have is this 4 beads left that aren't connected between each other, so that's what I'm gonna do. That's it, it's connected. And now before we continue, I think it's time to remove the CRAW starter. So I'm gonna remove my needle. We're gonna start by removing that first big stop bead. So I'm gonna and then here we can start removing these small stop beads one by one. Take your time, don't have to pull the threads too hard so you don't damage them. And the last one here. And that's it. I'm gonna thread this long tail again. And now from now on, we're gonna work on one unit at a time. So here we're gonna add this one, then this one, this one. Each unit is done in exactly the same way. So I'm gonna show you twice. From then you can finish off on your own. So here I'm gonna take my needle to this top 4 beads. I'm gonna go this one. And we're gonna continue our CRAW. Pick up 3 beads. Go through the same bead your thread's coming out of. Go through the second floor bead. Pick up 2 beads. Go down the side of the first floor and straight through the floor bead. Go through the third floor bead. Pick up 2. Go down the side of the last wall and straight through the floor. Go through the last floor bead, up the side of the first wall, pick up 1 bead, down the side of the last wall, straight through the floor bead, up the side of the wall, and connect the ceiling. 1, 1, 2. So I have 1 unit here. I need 13 in total. So continue and add 12 more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Now I have to take this around like so and connect it to this side. So I'm going to connect this 4 beads on the side to 4 beads of, see this one here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. See the side here, 6 unit 4 beads. That's where I attach the side of this here. So first I'm going to take my needle down to the side. I'm going to pick up 1 bead. Again, I'm just going to be here holding it like so. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The side here, top bead up. Like so. I'm going to pick up a bead and down the same bead on this side. So here I've connected the top 2 beads. Now I'm gonna connect this bead to this bead. So I'm gonna take my needle down here, pick up a bead, go up this one, see, go through this one, and this one. Now I'm gonna go down, see this bead on the inside, that one, I'm gonna connect to the bead on this side. So I'm just gonna go down that bead, flip it over, pick up a bead, go down, see where I'm coming out of, go down the opposite bead there. Flip it over, go through this bead, and back down the bead on there. Flip it over, and all I have is this 4 beads that are not connected. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go down this way. And now that it's connected, I'm gonna take my bead to here. I'm gonna take my needle here, here. So this, see the top row here, top row beads. I'm gonna go down this corner bead there. Here I am. I'm gonna pick up 1/8 mm bead, drop it down. See where my thread is? This is here. So I'm gonna count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. See? And the edge of that 7th bead there. Like so. Flip it over. Take my needle back through the 8 mm. And then back down the same bead I was initially coming out of, like so. And that's it. If you want, you could go through it one more time, but I'm done. Here, I'm gonna take my needle to this top 4 beads. And here, on top of this 4 beads, add 13 units. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So I'm gonna bring this up like this. Take my needle down to the side bead. Pick up 1 bead. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And this is the side, and this is the top bead. I'm gonna go up, and I'm gonna pick up 1 bead and down the same bead I was initially coming out of, like so. Flip it over. Now here I have to connect this bead to this one, so I'm gonna go up here, pick up a bead, down the opposite bead here, and connect this one, then up. Now here I have to connect that internal bead to the opposite one on this side, so I'm gonna go down here, flip it over, pick up 1 bead, and down the opposite bead on this side. Then connect this bead and back through this bead here. And now here all I have is these 4 beads that are not connected. And that's what I'm gonna do. Connect them. Okay. So go up. See this top line of beads? I'm gonna go down here. And then down to the bead that's on the inside. Flip it over. Pick up one 8mm bead. Drop it down here. See where my thread's coming out of? So I'm going to start counting from the one above. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Just below the 7, the internal bead there. I'm going to pull my needle through. Like so. Flip it over. Go through the 8mm again. So, and back through the same bead my thread's coming out of. Like so. And now back to the top here. So I showed you how to do 2 units. You continue the same way, adding more and more units until you have your required length. Now here, to be able to add this clasp, you have to end in the opposing units. And that's how it ends. As you can see, this clasp doesn't add much length, only like 1 centimeter. So keep going until you have that much required length left to finish off the length of your bracelet. And I'm gonna meet you back here. Just a quick hack. Once you've passed those first 2 units, you don't really have to count where you add the pearl anymore. See, I connected it. See those top 3 beads? So I'm gonna go through the last one here. And I'm gonna go down the bead that's on the side of that row. Like so. Then I'm gonna pick up my 8mm bead. And here, see this top 3 rows? I'm gonna go same bead on that line, going upwards. See, same line. And then go back through the pearl and back through the same bead on the same row. Like so. And then continue as you are. So I have my required length. I'm doing exactly the same length I did on this one as I made it for myself. So we added the last unit, and as you can see I have 1 left there. So I'm just going to take my needle, see these 3 top beads, so I'm going to take it there to add the last pearl. So we're almost done. Didn't take me too long. I started in the morning and just finishing up in the evening, so it's pretty good. I thought it would take me a couple days. So this is the top 3 rows. I need to be in that bead there. So I'm just going to take my needle down there on the side. Go through the side bead. And up the bead I have to come through, see, on the top 3 rows. Pick up 8mm bead. And then here, because I don't have any reference here, I have to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This bead here, down. So, take my needle through the bead. back down the same bead, so 3 beads down that row there. So I have to be on this side to add the clasp, so I'm just gonna go through the pearl one more time. Back down. So here, as you can see, how I add the clasp, same line where I added the pearl, that's where I start. So same line. Here I am. Pick up my clasp. I'm gonna pick up 1 bead, drop it down. I'm gonna take down the first hole, pick up 1 bead, go up the same bead my thread's coming out of, like so, and I'm gonna reinforce, going through the same beads all over again. Like so. Then I'm gonna take my needle down here to the next side bead here. Pick up a bead. I'm gonna take my needle up through the same first hole. Pick up a bead. Down this same side bead. Down the same side bead. Like so. And reinforce. Make sure to pull my thread nice and tight here. Let those beads settle in place. Like so. 1 done, 2 to go. So here, I'm gonna go through this side bead. Down to this side bead here. Pick up a bead. And then go up this second hole of the clasp. Pick up a bead. Go down the same side bead. Here you go. And reinforce. Make sure to pull my thread nice and tight and let those beads settle in place, like so. Take my needle down 1 bead and down the next side bead there. Pick up a bead, up the same second hole of the clasp, pick up a bead, down the same side bead there. Like so, and reinforce. Two done. Go down 1 bead here. Down the side bead, pick up a bead, up the last third hole here, pick up a bead, down the same side bead there, and then reinforce. Just love how easy it is to attach this clasp on this project. Sometimes attaching clasp can be so tricky. And then the last one here, one bead down through this side bead, pick up a bead, up the same last hole of the clasp, pick up a bead, down the same that side bead, see, and reinforce. And down that side bead, and done. Very strong attachment. We've been through this clasp 6 times, twice in each row, so you know it will never come apart. So now it's time to get rid of the tail. Then I'm gonna make one knot, as I like to do with CRAW. You can make 2 if you want. And take my needle away from the knot. So here I'm just gonna go round and round and round that spot. I just like to be thorough. And cut the thread. Now, same way, attach it on this side. So depending on where your thread is, see, it's at the end. So as you can see, for the end there, the last one added is the second side bead. So here, you just take your needle to the second side bead and start adding your clasp. So our wee snakes are ready. So this is the one that I already had, and this is the one we made today. How gorgeous it is. Now, what I meant, when you want to finish your bracelet opposing to each other, see, there's pearl on this side and pearl on this side. Now, if you ended up finishing with pearl here and here, you would have to add a different clasp because this one is not going to work. It only works when it's like, you know, opposing, so you get a clear line there. And then here. So all the links to the products will be in the description box. They're all in my shop, so don't forget to show some love. Don't forget to subscribe. Leave your comments if you have any. If you have any questions in terms of how to do this or that, or you want to share your works, please join my Cara's Beaders group on Facebook, and you know there will be lots of people who can help out apart from me as well. But I do usually have my own input there as well. So thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.